Om. Good morning, Sunday Yoga community. It is Sunday, August 23rd, and I began our Sunday Satsang and practice together, and then we lost all electricity and internet. So therefore, I'm opting to slip right into making a recording of this, and I will upload it for you. This is how God is. This is how Goddess is. We never know when we will be taken on a side road, when we will be asked to adjust from our desired outcomes. I believe John Lennon said it best when he said, "Life is what happens while we're making plans." So here we are together to practice. Our Sunday Satsang begins with the student-teacher prayer. We send the breath from the crown of the head down and out the body. And we inhale to the crown of the head and take call and response. Om, Om, Sahana, Sahana, Vavatu, Vavatu, Sahanao, Sahanao, Bhunaktu, Bhunaktu, Saha, Saha, Viryam, Viryam, Karavavahai, Karavavahai, Tejasvi, Tejasvi, Navadhitam, Navadhitam, Astu, Astu, Ma Vidvisha, Ma Vidvisha, Vahai, Vahai, Om Shanti, 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. For our satsang today, I simply invite you to sit tall, wherever you may be. Perhaps you're already seated on your mat. To lift the corners of your lips and allow your nostrils to flare. Allow your hands to rest, perhaps palms up to be receptive, perhaps folded together to be integrated and connected. However it is you choose to be present to these teachings, it is enough. There are great transformations and challenges that we are facing during these times. That is no surprise to any of us. And I imagine that one of the reasons, if not the reason, that you come to this place with me is because there is a longing to relax into your heart. There's a longing to be free from the burdens of the world, free from the ways in which life takes us and waylays us, gutter balls us from our very own happiness. And I know how I see myself, you, and the world. And it is my wish, or I would love to be able for you to see you how I see you. It is my hope that coming to these Sunday practices in some way throws off what inhibits you from being peaceful and free. Many of these teachings are waning in this world, and we must use our tapas, our inner fire, to keep turning back to them, because the world at large is dragging us into putting our attention on the perishable. We are chasing what is constantly changing. And in doing so, this is exhausting, depleting, and unfulfilling. The opportunity we are given really is to wake up. And to live in respect and appreciation and love. For I would love for you to see yourself as I see you. There's nothing in this impermanent world that can take you down. Not really. Not for long. And the beauty of it is there's really not a lot that we need to do. There's an attitude that we need to take on. But then really the supreme, how you know it, God as you know it, spirit, divinity, call it what you may, really does the rest. And so in these times, you have got to be bigger than the threat. In so many ways, it's as though we want life to be served to us on a platter. But we give so little of ourselves. We really give so little of ourselves. And instead we chase what doesn't last, which is everything we see, including this body. Clearly, these bank accounts, these houses. And hear me when I say that if you live with the voice of your personhood, meaning I'm a human being, I have human rights, treat me right, treat you right. If we live with our personhood as the representative of who we really are, you will never be happy. And we cannot feel the freedom because we find ourselves so focused on protecting our personhood. I get focused on the story of me. What am I going to do? What's going to happen to me? Am I going to be alone? Is this my life? Am I going to be poor and destitute? Am I going to be afflicted and affected and repressed and oppressed and suppressed for the rest of my days? We get so wrapped up in the story of me. I get wrapped up in my story. You get wrapped up in your story. And I don't want to see you in those limited terms. I don't want to see you and look to you as a person, as a human being. Because I love you too much to limit you in that way. I love me too much to limit me in this way. And I love God too much to be limited in this way. And so I say to you, don't go back to sleep. One of my most powerful moments in my life was on my birthday some years ago. When a couple of hours before my birthday, perhaps 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, I received a phone call that one of our young neighbors had died of a drug overdose. And I lived out in the middle of nowhere. My husband at the time and I, we were the closest neighbors. And I knew in that moment that all my plans for my birthday had changed drastically. And I dropped all Britness. And I served. I made food. I carried firewood. I sat in silence. I held hands. I was present as much as I could be, in a way as much as an angel might be. How can I serve you in silence? How can I hold your pain? And over the days that followed, we loved on this family. We watched the grieving. We watched the pine box being made. Literally, like we were hundreds of years in the past. We watched the men carry the pine box of this young man down our dirt road where I'd ridden my horse and walked with the dogs so many times. We watched and held vigil and brought food and water to the men as they dug the hole for the young man. And we stood and we helped as the men lowered the box with this life, this body, this shell into the ground. And then all of us with shovels close this chapter of humanity. And it was indeed the most tragic and beautiful moment because we are not those bodies. They are not who we are. And you are not your humanity. And I will not limit you to that. I will hold you in your suffering. And I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you are free. And that's how I'm just going to keep showing up here. For myself, for you, for your loved ones, and for the world. We are so much bigger than anything transient perishable and part of this human existence. And when we know that, we can then put on our clothes in the morning, go for our walk, sit in our prayers, dance with the one who brung us, surround ourselves with people who see us as such, and then go out into this world and do our very best to alleviate suffering. This is not about spiritual bypassing. This is about being spirit incarnate and walking through the fire as that spirit. This is what I offer. I see you so much more than your limited humanity. And we take that with us today to the mat. Shall we? So we come now onto our backsides. Just listening to the body as you move and shift. I'm going to flex through my heels, lifting the balls of my feet, spreading my tree frog toes, and I just shift my knees side to side. I go to the edges of the range of motion so that I can remove limitations. That's why I'm doing this. I'm moving my body so that the places in this vehicle, this body, this skin bag that have gone sleepy or have been ignored and forgotten and now feel disconnected from my whole, I can bring back into the fold. Circle my knees around here. And then I reverse that direction and circle my knees around in the opposite direction. I snug my knees on into my heart. I raise my eyebrows up toward my knees and inhale, and then exhale and release. I inhale and squeeze up. Exhale and release. One more time. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale and release. A little bit of crazy dog action. We let our knees fall to one side, open the heart in the opposite direction. Ring it out here. Early morning, ring it out. And then I release and bring both knees back into the center. And release back knees over to the other side. Head turns away. Yeah. As we're ready, we bring everything back in and up to the main line, midline. Then I'm going to bring my hands in between my knees, reach my hands to the outsides, pinky edges of the feet, and I'm just going to shift my weight side to side. I'm letting my head lift, using the weight of my legs to rotate me side to side. Then I'm going to come right up in and through the midline. Bring my hands back behind my hamstrings, send my heels up to the sky, lift my arms straight up toward my feet, lift up nice and high here, press out through the ball mounds of my feet. Let my legs be vertical as they are able. And then I bring my hands back behind my hamstrings, snug my knees in, bring my shins to parallel to the floor, tuck my chin, press the heels out and rise. I'm going to cross my ankles, come over my knees and shift back onto hands and knees. I ground through my hands and I'm going to hook the toes under and draw the breath in and up to the crown of the head here. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, draw the breath in and up to the crown. Exhale, round through the spine. Again, inhale, draw the breath in and up to the crown. Exhale, round through the spine. Now I'm going to walk my hands up toward the corners of my mat and shift my body weight down onto my belly. I'm going to inhale, lift my heart. And shift back, sit on the heels. Come all the way back up onto hands and knees. Scooch myself forward. It's about the sensation, more than the technique. Feel the length of the spine here. Inhale, come all the way through, lengthening, releasing down. Inhale, rise, hook the toes under and send the tail to the sky. We're just going to pedal from foot to foot here. One foot and then the other. And then I'm going to walk my hands back toward my feet. And allow the crown of the head to weigh heavy. The back of the neck is long. Torso surrenders. Bring the hands to the base of the thighs. Press and rise all the way up. We're going to take those arms up and above the head. Inhale, and then I'm going to circle the arms around. Big yawn. Big stretch. Reverse the direction all the way around. Up and around, up and around, up and around. Inhale, rise. Extending, exhale. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. And from here, as you step your feet, we're going to walk to the top of the mat. Hands at the hips. Elbows snug down the back side of the body. Just receiving the grace of the sun. Taking it all in. Loving on this. Receiving the grace of the sunlight. Whether it is touching your skin directly or it is touching your house directly or diffusedly, need not be the point. There is sun shining upon you. We bring our hands together at the heart center. We send the breath down and out the body on the exhale. We inhale, raise the arms up and above the head. Full inhale. We exhale and forward fold. Crown of the head weighs heavy. We inhale and let the eyes gaze forward. We'll step the right foot back and swivel the right heel down onto the earth. I'm going to go ahead and rise on up and bring my hands to the crest of the hips. I sink on down. I bring my hands in and up to the armpits. Pressing the heels of the hands into the side body. It's almost as though I launch the ribs forward here. And then I let the arms float up, inhaling. I bring my hands to the back of my head and lean on back here. And then I'm going to release those arms down and behind the back body and open. I'll let my chest just rest on that thigh. Reach the arms out long. I feel that the pinky edge of that right foot and the crown of the head are moving in the opposite direction of one another. And the arms reach back along the body as well. And then rise up. Turn both sets of toes in the direction of the long line of the mat and bring the arms out long. And take the right arm underneath the left. I just press the forearms away. I feel a stretch in the upper line of the back. Just going to let my head move side to side here. Pinky edges of the hands rising. Then I release those arms. I take the arms all the way up and above the head. And now I take the opposite arm under, wrapping. So here I press the forearms away from my nose, and then I lift my elbows. Feel this opening in the back side of the body. I feel the arches of the feet lifting. As we're ready, we release those arms. Take those arms all the way out. Reaching out nice and long. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and turn in the opposite direction. So I turn toward my right foot. You don't have to see me. You've been here already. You feel as though that left foot, pinky edge of the foot grounds down, and you bring your hands to your hips. Try this if your device for watching me is now behind you. Don't look to it. It's in your body. You've been here already. This is how we begin. It's so subtle, but it's a way that we turn our attention to our intuition. We then rise our hands up toward our armpits, heels of the hands pressing into the side body, sinking in. We then raise our arms up and above the head. You got this. Glide shoulder blades down the back side of the body, bending into that front leg more. Walking that right foot, gliding that right foot out just a little bit more if you find that the knee is wanting to jut over the ball of the foot instead of the heel. Then we bring the hands back to the crown of the head and lean back. This is like a used car salesman position. Resting on back. Then we release those arms, we take them back along the side body, interlace the arms behind the body, and lay your chest down on your thigh. Reach those arms out nice and long. Crown of the head is extending away from the pinky edge of the left foot. Take it to the depth that serves you. As we're ready, we rise on up. We release those arms. We turn both sets of toes along the long edge of the mat. Long line of the mat. We reach the arms out long. We take the left arm under the right and wrap again in those eagle arms. We first snug the elbows down the body, tuck the chin, retract the head just a little bit, press the pinky edges of the forearms away from the face, and then raise those elbows up. So we're just getting into the nooks and crannies of the upper back. We release and unfold those arms. We take the opposite arm under, wrapping. We soften the elbows down. We press the forearms away. We draw the navel center in. And we slowly lift the arms. We release the arms. Take those arms up and above the head, full inhale. And then we bring the hands to the crest of the hips. Lengthen out through the heart center. Let everything reach out long, 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 long. And we bring our hands down onto the earth. Opening through heart center here. So we lengthen out through the crown of the head best we're able. We walk both hands to the leg of your choice. Whichever leg you choose, it's just right. Feeling that torso move in that direction, grounding equally through both feet. We then soften through the knees as we come back through the midline and shift to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling, deepening the breath here, and then we release and come all the way back to center. We soften through the knees, bring the hands to the crest of the hips, press and rise up. You got this. That's it. We're going to go ahead and turn everything back to that first side again. Reach on down, ground through the hands, and send the tail back into a downward facing dog. We move in and through a plank pose. Navel center draws in. We hover shoulders over the wrists best we're able, and then we send the tail back up to the sky and we pedal from foot to foot. We move in and through a plank pose. Navel center draws in, and we press the tail back up toward the sky. One more time, we move in and through plank pose. We then soften our knees down onto the earth, lower our bellies all the way to the earth. We reach our hands back along the buttocks, opening through heart center, releasing the top lines of the feet. We lift the heart and we release on the exhale. We lift the heart and inhale, big toes, toenails touching down. Exhale and release. Inhale and rise. Exhale and release one more time. Inhale and rise. Exhale and release. We bring our hands along the rib cage, open through heart center, hook the toes under and send the tail to the sky. We're going to take the left leg floated up to the sky. Bring the left knee into the eyebrow center, round the spine. Send it back up to the sky. Bring the knee into the eyebrow center, round the spine. Send it back up to the sky, and then bring that foot right on down to join your right foot. Float your right foot up. Bring your right knee into your eyebrow center. Send it back up to the sky. Bring your right knee into your eyebrow center. Send it back up to the sky. Now we're going to take that right foot and step it all the way through. There it is. Inhale here. Feel that back thigh lengthening, and then exhale forward, folding. Crown of the head weighs heavy, back and the neck is long. torso surrenders. Soften through the knees, we rise on up and take the arms all the way up and above the head. You've got that. That's one little flow. One warm-up flow. We're going to open through the hips. So we do so by opening through the feet. We circle the arms around in one direction. 3 circles, big, full, deep breaths. We reverse the direction. We bring our hands to our rib cage and we circle through the pelvis 3 times in one direction, full breaths. Flare your nostrils like a horse does. Reverse the direction. There it is. We're going to bring our big toes together, knees are together. We slide our hands down and we circle through our knees. Big circles right here. Reverse the direction 3 times. You got it. We rise on up, roll the shoulder heads up towards the ears, send them back and down. Interlace the arms back and behind and open through the heart center. This is one of my defaults, one of my go-tos. Because I can get ahead of myself and I can roll through those front shoulders, shorten my breath. I'm all about getting her done. My fire constitution pushes me forward and out into the world to get stuff done, but that sometimes results in a lot of constriction and contraction on the front line of my body. So I'm just coming back to open things up again. This is one of my defaults. You may have yours. We release those arms down. We're going to take our second series warm-up. We're going to bring the hands into the heart center and send the breath down and out the body. Exhale. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Exhale, as you're ready, go ahead and sit back, forward folding, crown of the head weighs heavy. Inhale, eyes gaze forward. Exhale, step your right foot back and stay high on the ball of that back foot now. Rise up, bring your hands to the crest of your hips. So we just pause here and I'm just going to take us back to our community satsang and remind us that what we're really doing here is we are throwing off that which obscures the view of our brilliance, right? So we get rid of the sticky stuff, the murky stuff, the muck and gunk that gets built up in our bodies when we are constantly turning our attention to that which is impermanent. Like my job, like my friends and my family, like my house and my car, like my health and my body. Anything that is not our true and divine nature can start to limit our experience of the world, which then means anything that's outside of that little awareness and understanding we can become afraid of or uncertain about entering into. And so we're throwing off that by moving the body, by reconnecting right and left side of the brain, by opening up the inner channel of the body, and by accessing more space and freedom here in this physical skin bag, we access more freedom in our lives and in the world at large. It's really simple. Raise those arms up and above the head, inhale. As we're ready, exhale, bring those hands on down to the earth on either side of the foot, send the tail to the sky, we pedal from foot to foot. We move in and through our plank pose. We're going to shift to the outside of the left foot and raise the right arm up. We're going to lift that right foot off the earth. You don't have to do any of this. You can be on an elbow or be seated raising an arm. It's all good. And then we bring that foot down, hand down, knees down, belly down. Inhale. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. We hook those toes under, rise on up. Inhale, downward facing dog. We move it into a plank pose. We shift to the outside of the right foot and float the left arm up. You can lift that left foot perhaps. You don't have to. You can be seated in this. You can lose your balance. It's all good. We bring that hand down and shift. Hip shift side to side. Hover, release the knees, lower on down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, hook toes under, send your tail to the sky. So here you can just take the foot of your choice forward. You're going to simply scissor kick the legs. So we bring shoulders in the direction of the wrists, eyes look out, lifting the head a bit. And all I'm going to do is lift one leg of my choice and then lift, switch, kick, touch. Lift, switch, kick, touch. Lift, switch, kick, touch. Landing as lightly as I can. That's it. We bring those feet forward. Crown of the head weighs heavy. Back of the neck is long. Soften through the knees. Inhale and rise up. Take those arms all the way up and above the head. Exhale, release those hands back and behind. Open through heart center again. Oh, Lordy, how I need this one. We release those arms. We bring the big toes closer together. We bring our hands to our heart center. Softening the arms down. Exhale, inhale, float the arms up and above the head. As we're ready, we exhale, releasing forward, folding, crown of the head weighs heavy. Inhale, eyes gaze forward. Exhale, now we step the left foot back. We're going to stay right here and come up. Bring those hands to the crest of the hips. That low belly lifts us. We sink in, we feel how the heart center rises. Can you relax here? I'm just sure you can. Maybe it's only 3% more than what you've been feeling, but relax 3% of the tensions. And then settle there, and then maybe another 0.5%. Worrying less about all these things that are changing. This day's gonna come and this day's gonna go. The feelings we feel are just clouds passing. We just gotta stay right here. And remember that there is nothing more powerful than turning to the beauty of a flower, or to the flame of a candle, or the sunlight itself. There is no job, no person sitting beside you. There is no amount of money in your bank account that is going to give you that sort of fragrance and magic and magnificence as the sun, as the flower, as the flame, as your very own breath. And float those arms up and above the head, inhaling, ascending. As we're ready here, we exhale, bring those hands down to the earth. We're going to send the tail to the sky. We're going to pedal that. Inhale, move in and through our plank. As we're ready, we're going to roll to the outside of the right foot. Left arm floats. Perhaps lift the left foot for a moment. Smile and breathe. Bring that hand and foot down, shift. Hover forward, release the knees, lower to the belly. Inhale and open. 3. Exhale. 2. Exhale one more time. And exhale, we hook those toes under. We inhale and ascend. We send the tail to the sky. We pedal from foot to foot. We move in and through our plank pose. We hover to the outside of the left foot. We float the right arm up. We pick up the right foot. Hold in this, love in this. Feel that hand come down, that foot come down. We hover forward, release, lower down to your belly. Inhale. Exhale and release. Inhale and rise. Hook the toes under. Send your tail to the sky. Bring the foot of your choice in a little closer. Float the opposite leg up. Eyes track out. Again, we're going to scissor kick. So you spring load through your base leg. Eyes look out, an important part. We press, switch, kick. Press, switch, kick. Press, switch, kick. Press, switch, kick. You don't to deepen, and then we walk our feet up to the space between our hands. Why do we do that? Why bother? Because when you tip your life upside down, when you do it consciously, there's a sense of, oh, if I can be peaceful and relaxed and at ease before I do this, and then as I do it, then I'm going to be peaceful, relaxed, and at ease after. And then when life flips you upside down, you can access that same peace of mind. Soften through knees. Inhale, rise on up. Take those arms all the way up and above the head. Exhale, release those arms down and behind the body, interlacing. Opening through heart center, lifting up through the front line of the sternum. And bring our feet, big toes a little closer together. Opening right on up right here. We soften through that left knee. We raise that right knee in and up. So I snug into my shin line. I'm just going to circle through the ball of this foot. Reversing the direction. Now I just want to feel balance through exploration. So I keep this left leg grounded and I let my right leg have its way. Letting it move and shift. I might hold on to something. I might find my way into some aspect of expression. Lots of ways I can come into this to feel and play balance. And then you find some aspect, some position. It might be tree pose. It might be foot to the buttocks. It might be holding your shin. It might be holding the outer aspect of the ankle. You choose it and stay with it for 3 to 5 breaths. And then we release. We're going to bring that foot down. We're going to open through the feet. Bring the hands to the rib cage and roll through the pelvis. Let your jaw move and shift. Reverse the direction of the pelvis. You got it. Then we're going to ground through that second foot. Lift that knee on up. Hand comes to the shin line. Eyes track out over the horizon. I feel that there's an opening through my heart center. This is key. I want to feel a lift of the rib cage and an opening of the heart. And then I snug that knee in. It's like being a human tube of toothpaste. If I squeeze the energies from the bottom in and up, I'm going to feel the ascension. Rising on up here. Losing my balance again. And then as I'm ready, I'm just going to play. I'm just going to let my body find its way. Not asking this side to show up exactly the same as the other side. It could be really different. It could be a little bit different. But we just begin to play and move a bit. Full breath, finding relaxation as we go. Look at that. See, that happens. No biggie. And then finding that same pose you took on that first side, whatever that may be. Rising in and up through heart center. That knee releasing down, that inner line of the foot ascending. Three to 5 breaths here. Ah, church bells. Release that foot on down. Open the feet, circle through the pelvis. So the churches here, the cathedrals here were built mostly in the 1600s by the Indians. The Spanish conquistadors had come and they enslaved the Indians and had them build their churches. Hence we have this amazing version of La Virgen de Guadalupe, or the Mother Mary, and she looks a lot like Tonantzin, which is the Mayan aspect of the divine feminine, the goddess. And the bells were a way in which there are songs today that are in Nahuatl and in Spanish that are saying to the Indians, to the natives, remember to use those bells when you hear those. Wake up your women, because our children need you to be connected to the earth, to the 5 elements. They need you to dance and sing us into freedom of heart and mind and body and spirit through our great ancestry. They need to remember their great power. So we can take anything we hear and experience in our lives, the church bell down the street from us, and say, oh, that's my wake-up call. Not to get out of bed, but to awake from your slumber, to remember who you are, and to see yourself perhaps as beautifully as I see you. Hands release down along the side, body inhale, raising arms up and above the head, arcing back if it's there. Forward folding, crown of the head weighs heavy, back of the neck is long. Inhale, eyes gaze forward. Exhale, let the right foot step back. Let's roll the right heel down, rise on up, inhale. Let's bring our hands to our shoulders and open into warrior 2. Gliding right arm down and back, opening. Exhale, this left arm's gonna come to the inner line of the right thigh. Reaching out, inhale, opening up and back. Exhale, let that left arm come to the inner thigh. Take it all the way up and back. And then as you're ready, go ahead and bring this left hand down to the inside of that left foot. Float the right arm up to the sky, sink the hip in. So this right hip's not way up here. We drop it down best we're able. We feel the rib cage spiral, that right hip opening, right arm reaching up, inhale. Right arm comes all the way out and over the head. Feel the stretch of the side body, the rib cage, crest of the hip. Raise that right arm up, bring that right hand down, left hand to the outside of the left foot. Tail to the sky, moving in and through a plank pose. Hover, lower down. Open through cobra, release down. Hook toes under, rise and ascend. Pedal from foot to foot. We float the right leg up. We're gonna open that right hip. Let that right foot fall toward the left side. Let your right hand come out to what I'll call 3 o'clock. You can imagine the face of a clock here. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I like to just touch the pads of the fingers. Float that right leg back up. Right hand comes out. Right foot steps through. Beautiful. Inhale, open through heart center. So that back heel down, we rise on up. Opening up into warrior 1. Another church, another round of bells, another wake-up call. Hands coming into the heart, into the shoulders, opening into warrior 2. Open that back foot. You got it. Glide that left arm down the back body, reach that right arm up and back. We're wringing things out, getting into the nooks and crannies that have sat stagnant and hold sometimes emotion and fear and aspects of our lives and our being that just aren't serving us anymore. Big inhale, take that right hand to the inner line of that left thigh. Inhale, sweep it up. Right hand to the inner line of the left thigh. Right hand, sweep it up. This time that right hand comes all the way down to the inner line of that right foot. Left arm comes up. We take that left arm all the way out. Feel the length of the middle left finger and pinky edge of the left foot, spiraling heart center up to the heavens. Inhale, that left arm rises. We bring the left hand down. Right hand to the outside of the right foot. Step back, down dog. Moving in and through a plank pose. Hover forward, lower on down. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we hook the toes under, send the tail to the sky. Left foot floats. You're on the opposite side. Left foot falls to the right side of the body. Left hand takes 9 o'clock position. Full, long, deep breaths. Left hand, left foot, come back. Big inhale here. Left foot comes on down. We're going to go ahead and move in and through a plank pose. Lower down 90 degrees. Push it up. Tail to the sky. 2 more. Plank. You can always release your knees. Push it up. Tail to the sky 1 more time. Plank. Lower down. Push it up. Tail to the sky. Move in and through our plank. Soften our knees down. Release all the way to our bellies. Take a pause. Go ahead and create a pillow for your brow to rest down and wag your tail. We inhale and exhale right here. That right arm's going to go out nice and long, straight out to the side. I'm going to sweep all the way over and open that right side of the shoulder. Perhaps one of my favorites. In this day and age, I'm just all about how do I be strong, full of breath, and open-hearted. If I got those guys going on, balance is going to come, agility is going to come, the basic unfolding of my life will come. Release, come all the way back in and through center. We're going to go ahead and lengthen that opposite arm out and then come to the other side. No problem if you have to slide that left arm under a couch or a table. Hotel room, kitchen. I've done yoga in bathrooms, hotel rooms, kitchens, rest stops, parks, creekside, yoga studios, you name it. Lots of hotel room floors, lots of living rooms, lots of kitchens. Not a lot of bathrooms, but I can remember 2. Release and come back in and through. You got it. Come all the way back to your belly. Bring those hands underneath your shoulders, open through heart center. We're going to just shift into a child pose here. Let your brow touch down. Let your arms go where they're comfortable. This is a way you can give it all back to the ultimate giver. Just let your brow touch down. It's like a drain on a big old bathtub. You've loosened a bunch of stuff. Use your exhale and dump everything out that brow. Brow and perineum. So the place where organs of excretion and organs of reproduction meet up, somewhere in that vicinity, and the brow on the exhale, both drainages just emptying out. Navel center draws in. We're just going to roll and rise up. So we're going to sit here for a moment on our knees. So for me, a lot of times 15, 18 minutes, we did about 22 minutes of flow, of like wring it out, go deep, hold my strength, upper body strength, lower body strength, flexion through the spine, extension through the spine. How do I move my body, open my body, deepen my breath? I come there first. Sometimes 15, 18, 20 minutes of that is all I need. And if I'm in a rush, sometimes in my practice, that's all I get. But that, for me, is my most important part. Largely because in the very early wee hours of the morning, I consistently go into prayer and meditation. So I sit for prayer and meditation, roll out of bed, turn on the hot water, squeeze lime into my water, sit with my hot water. If it's cold, it sits at my groin. If it's not cold, it just sits and waits for me. 20 minutes or so in that way. This just is what I'm offering. Now I'm going to take full advantage of this gorgeous wall right here because I'm going to flip things upside down. So I'm going to grab a blanket from my Princess and the Pea stack here. I've got a whole bunch of them I was sitting on. I'm just going to grab a blanket. And I'm going to bring my blanket over to the wall. I'm just going to turn it as such. I just want it to be even, so my right and my left side are even. I'm going to just use this for my head. Now, you don't have to do this. You can slide your hands here close to the wall and lift your tail and never touch your head down. Palms down under your blanket and never touch your head down. And that's fine. And just choose to lift one leg and balance on forearms in dolphin pose, one-legged dolphin. Bring that leg down. Switch to the other side. That works too. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to interlace my fingers, let my elbows be shoulder width apart, and then I'm going to rise. And I'm going to rise up and bring my head to the earth. And I can't, sorry, my shirt's over my face. But I'm just going to feel this. I'm really pressing into my forearms. So there's very little pressure on the head. Now there's none. My head is lifted. Can't see that. My head is lifted. Let's try that again. So ideally the body is finding its way where it doesn't have to always have a connection of the head to the earth. So my head's not down at all. Forearm balance, right? Right there. Sometimes eyes looking out. Strengthening through shoulders. I can touch head down, press up, touch, press up. You can touch the wall or come off of the wall. It's a practice. It's not a performance. It's not a perfection. It's a practice. But I love tipping things upside down after I've wrung things out, because it's like you mix it all up, you clean out all the funk on the edge of the bucket, and now you dump it out. Then what do? I come onto my back side, I snug my knees in. I reach for the pinky edges of the feet. I just hold and love on this right here. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring my feet to the earth. My knees are pointing toward the sky. I'm just getting my bun out of the way. It's better to, if you can, it's better to lift the bun up, because that's going to force your chin, not force, it's going to encourage your chin to tuck down. If the bun goes back and under, it's going to encourage the chin to lift up. And when the chin is tucking down, we awaken and invoke what we call Jalanda Harabandha. Jalanda Harabandha, and that is the chin lock. We're just going to pause here. Let your knees rest against each other. I just want you to hear these church bells. This is your wake-up call. Clock tower, touch the hours. And wake up all the women. Because if we wake up all the women, they will remember their great powers. Clock tower, move with purpose, with a bit of hurry, so that we can wake up all the wisdom keepers and teachers and medicine women and healers. So that we can make our offers back to the earth, the water, the fire, and the air. We ask that these bells awaken us so that our daughters and our sons will remember. For they need their mothers and their sisters and their grandmothers awake. For when they are awake, we can offer everything back to the divine source. We're going to snug those knees on into the heart center. Rise on up and just sit in a boat pose. Draw the knees in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. more, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Cross the funny ankle on top, the one that you wouldn't naturally cross over, and just rest here. Jaw moves and shifts. Hear all those bells that have been ringing on these Sunday mornings. For 400 years in these parts. These churches are stunning. If you have the opportunity to come here. Come to Guanajuato, Guanajuato. The culture, the history, the art, the music, the people will enchant you. Navel center draws in and up, crown of the head rises. So we're going to go ahead and draw those knees in, shift those legs out long, we bring those arms out, interlace all fingers except for the index fingers, press out. You're going to rapid fire exhale, Bhastrika. Exhale, inhale. Here we go. Go ahead and reach the arms to the right side. Hold it. All the way back in and through the center. Left side, hold it. Hold it. All the way back in and through the center. Open the arms. Knees come in, snug them in, and cross the ankles as you're comfortable and bow forward. We allow the crown of the head to rise up. We walk our hands, and we're going to take our hands back in behind our body. Turn the fingertips away. Open through heart center. You want to still be able to swallow wherever you are. Move and shift the jaw. Big movements. Take these last 10 minutes before Shavasana. Do some very important ancient practices. And to release anything that's stuck, that needs surrendering. We cross the ankles. We bring our hands to our knees. We inhale, we exhale, and circle around. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Come center. Reverse the direction. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, in, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more. Heart center rises. We let the arms, palms face up. Inhale to the crown of the head. Exhale right down the midline. The sound is inhale. Let it just fall out of the mouth. We open the arms strong and broad. Inhale. We wrap. Inhale. Raise the arms up. Bring the hands right to the clavicular notch, right in here. Inhale. The sound is Perhaps you're beginning to feel the internal shift from the perishable to the imperishable. We're going to put those three together. We're going to do it 5 times. It's going to be We'll be moving up vibrationally. So we take our hands, palms face up. We raise the breath in and up to the crown of the head. We exhale. Hands. Inhale. Release the hands, the palms face up. We feel the energy root down on the ah built into the om, the oo built into the om, and the energy rises as we ground into our physical body on the So the energy looks like this: ah, oo, The is energy ascending, presence in this physical body, grounding in the body. So we root down through our base. We connect to all of humanity, this entire world. Then we remember who we are. Oh yes, you are the supreme being. Oh yes, that's how I see you. That's how I know you to be. All lives within one. All lives within the center of the om. I'm going to do it one time. Listen for the ah, the oo, the built into the om. There's no distinction between the 3 sounds within. You will feel it and know it because it is yours. Listen. Together, send the breath down and out the body. Inhale to the crown 5 times. Inhale. Inhale, draw the breath in up to the crown of the head. Exhale, release yourself all the way down into your Shavasana. Take your time here, perhaps release the hair. Power in releasing the hair. Shoulder blades grounding underneath the body. Heart center open, pinky edges of the feet broad, falling to the outside, pinky edges of the feet surrendered, backs of hands touching down, energy rising in and up through perineum, in and up and behind the rib cage, down and in. So even here, the bandhas are part of the practice. Mula bandha, energy of organs of insertion, organs of reproduction, organs of excretion working together to draw energy in and up through the low belly and back side of the rib cage, and then chin drawing in and through, heart center opening. You have come to this place in some way because you seek to be free. Free from suffering. Free from limitations. Free from being thrown about by what the world is doing. And so I offer that as you come to these great moments, these great moments in history, that you imagine that you are entering into a doorway where you have knocked upon the door, whether it be the door of Saint Peter or my door or the God, Goddess, Him herself. Knocked on this door, and the door is answered. And that sweet invocation to be free is what you've come here for. And so perhaps it's worthwhile to mention you stand at this door because you long to be free. You've journeyed to this point because you long to be free. And the door, when it is answered, who stands before you, welcomes you in and says, and yes, leave your mind and your ideas and your projections and conjectures about this world. Leave all that outside. It will be there when we're done. And you agree and you come in and you sit in a meadow or in a garden and you simply feel with corners of the lips lifted and heart open. But there is a peace that we know to be accessible. at all times and in all ways. And as you feel this place within you, you know it's not dependent upon whether you have all of your appendages or how old you are, young you are, whether you're employed or not employed. Whether you have children or no children, nor a roof above your head, but you feel and sense that there's a part of you that just knows yourself to be true. That you're okay. That all the resources that will help you through are within your reach. And maybe perhaps you rise up and out of this holding you feel, this holding of space, of this goodness. For you know you must go back into your life, but you go there with him or her within. And perhaps you pick up some of those projections, conjectures, ideas, and stories. But you also remember how beautiful you are. And you carry this knowing back with you into the world as it is. This is God, Goddess. This is how God is, pandemic. You are whole, holy, enough as is, and you are part and parcel of the divine, of the supreme being. Spend your time, dedicate your time in search of this. So in your time, slowly and steadily, you begin to come out of your Shavasana and bring yourself back to your favorite seat. And bring our hands to our heart center. We send the great breath down and out the body on the exhale and inhale to the crown of the head. We chant this great calling, this invocation, this remembrance that we live in a glorious universe, that we are part and parcel of majesty. And yes, this world is horrible, but it is equally wonderful. And may we feel it all and know it all and hold our center. And relax here. We send the breath from the crown of the head down and out the body on the exhale, inhaling. Om Purnamida Purnamidat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamaveva Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Hari Om. Thank you so much for being here. Sweet love to you. Grace and goodness. Om.